What's going on, guys? It's Flash. We are going live today once again. I want to apologize first off. I wasn't live last week at all, like I said I would be. I was a lot of things were happening last week, so I was completely caught up with other things last week. But we're live this week. We're getting back on track. Now, bear with me. I'm live streaming off a different software. So I'm trying it out, and this is a test. So let's see if it works. And let's see how we get on. I'm just going to pull up a different monitor to see. The mic keeps falling, but to see my if any comments come in. So as usual, guys, throw your comments up. I'll be happy to answer any questions. And let's see how this live stream goes. So as the title says, I've lost thousands of dollars day trading, but today isn't one of them. Today was actually it was a weird slow day in the market. It was different. It was a lot slower than normal. We protected ourselves with some good risk management, and we got a small green trade on quite a large cap stock. So I'll be breaking them down in the video for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Let's just wait till we get a couple more people in. Throw up your comments if you have any questions. As usual, guys, I'm happy to break them down. Before we get into it, guys, I am new on Instagram as well. If you want to go follow me on Instagram, it's Trading with Flash. I'd appreciate your support on Instagram, so go ahead, jump over there and check it out. Also, guys, a quick update as well. The mentoring classes and sessions, one-on-one sessions, are nearly full for March. So just to give you a heads up on that, the mentoring is nearly full for March. If you are thinking of taking part in the mentoring program, there's not many spaces left. So make sure you email me if you want to get in the mentoring sessions. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to switch to a screen share. So again, I'm not great at this technology stuff, so I'm going to switch the screen down, I think. So bear with me. Ooh, it looks like we might have it. First stock we're looking at is Gevo, G-E-V-O. Gevo is an $8 million share flow. If anyone wants to know what a float is, it's the amount of shares available to the public. We call ourselves the public. As per usual, the smaller the flow. I'll just make myself small, put myself in the corner, and this is how we're going to be live streaming from now on. And we'll see how it goes for us. There we go. Maybe we do a little back a little bit more. I'll drop it to a 5 just to maybe get a better looking chart. Let me check what it's like on your end. That's worse. Okay, for some reason it's only popping up half the chart. Again, we're testing it out, so we're gonna have to figure out what's going on. Why is half my screen missing? But we can see the main piece of the pie, so that's okay. So this is Gevo. Like I said, the flow is small. It did have news, and we were expecting some good things from this today. I mean, it opened up gapped up from 250. About 250 area. We hit highs of nearly $4, so it was super promising. It just looked shit pre-market, but I'm thinking, okay, it's not going to recover all the way, but we're going to get a pop. We're going to get in somewhere. We'll get a nice little chunk of change out of this. We won't get a huge runner. It's not going to change the world, but we're going to trade it. So going over the daily. We were studying the daily to see the supports on the daily. Now, support, obviously we have our whole dollar support at $3, psychological. And another support on this was about 294 off the daily chart. So we were watching a pullback pre-market, and I decided to get in after break at 3. It looked like it was holding a snap through 3 a little bit, so I jumped in. And I was prepared to average down again to that support around the 295 area. So I was prepared to average into it. Again, I did average in. I got in at the 295 again. It gave me an average, I believe, about 296, 297. I was averaged in this. Now, as you can see, we popped back up. So the plan worked. So it worked perfectly. We popped back up. We hit highs of 315 and we were getting rejected by the 20 EMA here, if you can see it. I have it boxed for my entries and where I wanted to exit. Now on Jiva I did not exit on here. I was not quick enough. So sometimes that happens. Not quick enough on the trade. So I didn't end up getting out of the trade, and then I continued to hold it. So I was thinking, okay, we might start pushing back up, even though we were rejected. I would have liked to get out there. I wasn't quick enough. I didn't get out. So I held on to the stock, which isn't always a good idea. And sometimes you have to take your own advice a bit more seriously. So I held it. But I had a stop here at 90 cents. And I think I stopped out about 291. So a 5 cent loss. It's absolutely nothing in comparison to what could have happened here with the big drop. But it's all about managing your risk. Like we talk about it all the time. We're studying patterns, we're studying candles, we're buying off support, we're selling at resistance. This is the type of behavior that we want. It doesn't work all the time, and that's the name of the game. But we have to find out what went wrong, and what went wrong on me in this particular trade. The tactic was right. The normal tactic I use, buy, pops up. This works usually quite well at open, like it did. Got rejected. I wasn't quick enough to get out. I held it like an amateur. I should have got out on the pullback before. I should have got out a 3 with at least something, but you're always in the hope of something. So I made a beginner mistake, and it happens. It's so important for me to break down the red and green trades for you, because the red trades really, they do have a lot of lessons to be taught. So it's important I'm putting out that content for you, and I'm not just showing you green trades all the time and showing you millions of dollars of gains. So it's important you see a basic strategy that can work, and then when you see it doesn't work, we're managing our risk. So technically it was a loss, but in terms of things, we knew what went wrong. So like I always say, we're exchanging something for a lesson, so that way it's not a loss, it's a lesson. So I'm going to jump over to, see, I did have as well down here, you can't see it, I don't know why, it's really annoying me, I'm going to have to figure out, but these are little teething problems in the new software, so it's okay. Down here was a perfect bear flag. I wanted to show you guys, in case anyone didn't know what a bear flag was. It was a perfect bear flag setup, and it tried to reverse out of a bear flag for possible entry, and it was faked out here. If you can see it just down here, the little wick, it was faked out and got rejected and just went on down. But that was a perfect bear flag I wanted to show you, but it's not there. So let me jump over to the next little stock to show you guys, if I could get my software up. MELI. Okay, now this isn't a typical stock. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the charts. Now this isn't a typical stock I would trade, solely because of the price. It's like a over $400 stock. It is really expensive, but I kind of did a really bad thing today in terms of habits. It was a slow day, and this popped up, and I was thinking it's a big stock. It's a dangerous stock. This will crush your account, one of these. But I took it on my TradeNet. I said I'm going to take this trade on my TradeNet account. So I did. I was in about 237, I believe. Not huge shares. It is an expensive stock, but I jumped in this particular stock again right here, about 237 area, breaking down for you guys. And I was in the red because the spread actually was quite big on it. So I've opened initially straight in the red, and it was a little bit freaky because I should have paid attention, and I kind of wasn't fully with it today. So I was in the red and I held because I liked the flag pattern. This is the reason for my entry, was the flag pattern. I was in the red and we started to pull back a little bit, and the pullback was a little bit nasty. We were down a few $100s in the pullback. But I said, no, we're still flagging out. We're still looking good. We're holding the 20 EMA. If I had it broke down the 20 EMA, this was my exit point here. We held the 20 EMA and we curled. We started to break flag. And as soon as I seen the flag break and the small bit of volume started to come in,